Local time, just after 9 a.m. in the morning. We are soldiering through round 3 of competition. An all-Australian matchup as Stuart Kennedy from Lennox Head on the east coast takes on Davey Cathels, but further up the coast in the northern beaches of Sydney from Narrabeen.
I knew it was challenging, like kind of closing out, but I always on those kind of conditions I like to try to sniff like the good ones and find crazy barrels, and I almost came out one really good that I think would be a really good score, but kind of.
But Kyle Belly surfing so amazing this year. Bunch of nights as we watch Cathels finding a little tube time. Doesn't get quite that clean exit, so it'll be a suppressed score slightly after winning.
And already focused on Fiji, right?
Oh, for sure. I mean, the goal in mind at the end in Honolulu at the Maui Pro is to take the championship and become a world champion.
All right, lots of speed here for Stu. Stewie Kennedy, opening delivery for him. Actually, I lie. Second score now being posted. Small numbers, a 217 and a 3.3, as Cathels will just inspect. Well, there's testimony to how much these waves are just slurping out here. It's really, bottoms are dropping out. It's guillotining. How about that?
Then he's just getting pounded.
Yeah, you spoke about the anaerobics and the... let's have a look at the replays here, though.
Yeah, this was Stu Kennedy. Of course, this is his stylish and smooth approach. His transitions are as smooth as anybody on tour. A lot of it's due to his equipment, but it's also due to his technique. As you watch Davey Cathels, oops, and just filling the sinuses with sand and salt water. And then, you know, obviously round 4, round 5, you know, quarters you'd want to hold on to. But, you know, those are our rookies on tour, and all of them have been pretty good, you know. Overall, you know, you'd see rookies because they always come up against the top seeds that they're going to get smoked, but not this year. You know, in the past, rookies, you know, getting ninths is a good result. So watch the replay here, backhand now, going up and over. That's that approach from Stu Kennedy, so smooth. I mean, I mentioned the transitions, and he's able to, you know, when he goes and does those big moves, he comes out of it with speed and power. You know, I've seen a lot of focus this year on breathing techniques. You know, a lot of those folks have been putting in that extra time, and I think it's so important.
Looking at Davey Cathels here, the wave itself doing a bit of breathing. As it, you see a little bit of a sort of a seesaw up and down on that wave as it moves through the rip there.
Part of it, and there's also a mental part of it that comes with those breathing techniques. Obviously, the physical part of it, oxygenating your blood, but the mental aspect, it's centering yourself. As we watch up and riding Stu Kennedy.
Here he goes for the glide. And he'll just exit out, won't take that opportunity to throw down at that lip. These lips are thick and heavy.
Has been become quite a fan favorite. He's one of the young underdogs, but has just been blowing minds.
Deep on the corner here. Cathels will look for the back door. About 5 yards, 1 board length too far back.
Well, he was coming from the back door, had to go through the living room, the kitchen to get through that one. Just no way he was going to make that.
And look how he's just getting absolutely ragdolled there.
Take a look here, but this was way deep, you know, but he had no real other choice than to do that. I think it's part of the technique too, is that if he pulls in knowing that you're not going to make it, what it does is it'll actually flush you out the back rather than going forward and getting pushed in. Then he'd have to do the full wraparound, whereas that he can kind of just get flushed out the back, and there he is right back outside again. So saving a lot of time by doing that technique.
Yeah. Both surfers looking very comfortable on the equipment. Of course, young Stu Kennedy and Davey Cathels serving almost a pupillage under Mick Fanning in their junior careers. Both of them doing work at the High Performance Center.
More than anyone.
Oh, absolutely.
And the rest of the surfers have followed suit, and there we go, live action.
All right, here we go. Beautiful snap from Stu Kennedy. This wave is waiting for him, and he'll square it up nicely. Yes, he'll hold it together. A little bit of a doggy paddle there at the end.
And the judges have been so critical of that last element there, riding out of it. We saw it with Kyle Belly. The judges will be critical of that finish element. Let's take a look here as he drops in. Nice positioning on the drop, keeps the speed flowing down the line, gets that snap, sees that last section, climbs up and over it, grabs a rail for stability, just to kind of come out of it. Again, another angle on it, first turn, right in that critical section, drifts the fins up, and then goes up and over here, and just gets a little tap of the rail. See that? Just kind of stabilizes the entire board.
And that crew would have turned him into a really wily competitor. As here he goes for an inside runner. He's going to go quick to the lip. Now using that slopey shoulder for a good little sequence of turns here. Keeps the board alive. Gone into a little bit of a work rate here. Smart surfing, what are you thinking, Pete? Because we've seen no real big numbers yet, so he's going for that working approach now.
Look,
on a small wave.
Down with the amount of time, so he sacrificed a little bit of size on a little smaller wave, but he saw that it was going to have a clean open face all the way through. So he gets that first turn, goes up and attacks the lip, which is nice and committed. Then the wrapping turn, so showing some variety. The wave gets a bit foamy, but he stays smooth through the arc, and then milks it to the inside here. He gets that fourth maneuver, and he'll grab the ski at this point and get himself back out there and maybe give himself an opportunity if that score was not enough. You know, it's going to be right there on that kind of border. Yeah, it's you know, it's Stewie's actually asking, as we see, straight into one.
Well, Davey Cathels. Another wrap turn. He's gone to that work rate now. He knows he's got to find the numbers. Judges do owe him a score though, Pete, so we'll wait and see what that comes in at.
Back to the water, so they'll stop and you know, focus on the water. As you watch the roundhouse cutback here, just that one move kind of climbs the whitewater there, but that's it. So will he improve on a 3.73 if he actually picked up his highest score on that last wave? Still no inclination of what we've seen score-wise for Davey Cathels. At this point, you got to just block that out and go, you know what, I've got priority.
Okay. Cathels will show interest and Kennedy will block. 40 seconds to go. Stewie must apply himself to this wave here, and it's a little bit, you see how it's fallen apart here? It breaks up. Now a whole new link. They'll switch for the backhand. Little click.
Yeah, we're going to be on hold at the end of this one.
So both of our young Australians squeezing out scores here, going to the smaller wave options, which makes sense because the big ones really are thundering on the outside bank.
As you can see,
yeah,
in your screen, there's that outer reef. That I'm surprised that we haven't seen anybody attempt to go ride that outer reef and get one that just kind of rolls into the inside. We may see it later, but not so much at this point. I mean, the tide is coming up, so.
All right, so waiting on scores, you see there. All right, numbers coming in. Remember, the requirement is a 5-0-1 for Davey Cathels to upset Stu Kennedy here. It's a 5-0-7. It seesaws right at the end, Pete.
But we still have one more score for Stu Kennedy.
So now, waiting on another number.
So he had the better, a 4.17 on his very last wave, which is, again, if we can get a replay of that, guys, just kind of show that one. So again, looking for a 4.24 to turn the heat.
All right, so that score comes in. It's not enough.
2.8.
Wow.
Yeah, not enough. I mean, again, it was a small wave, and it was forced for sure.